Okay, so I'm Douglas DeBecker. I'm here with Horacio Roa. We're working with Falum Ritum Institute to help promote indigenous medicine, natural healing from different traditions around the world, and promoting those traditions to continue and to educate people and create opportunity for those people to learn about these systems and have access to their methods of healing. Hi, Horacio. How are you?
Hello. Very good. Thank you for inviting me to your circle.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we've done a lot of calls together, Horacio and I. I've learned quite a bit from him, and we've even started inviting some other people into the show. This is a online kind of what I've been doing is creating some free online class series with some different teachers in different styles of healing, different traditional indigenous healing arts, and so now I'm pulling Horacio into this, and we can start doing something as well. So Horacio, maybe what I'd like is an introduction about you and your family, about your lineage in healing, and then also about the studies you later on did to integrate into what you learned, and how it's now become what we call holistic healing, like an integrative natural healing approach. So please, if you could introduce yourself and let us know about your unique background and
Sure.
experience.
Uh, uh, I have this question for a second time this week. I was last week in the jacuzzi and I met a physical therapist. And we're talking about the situation right now about health. Um, and in one point, we realized both we was working on the health field. And she said to me, "Well, I'm physical therapy. Only I can work the body and I can work the muscles and the movements and the body work." And I said to her, "Well, many years ago, when I was a young healer, I start my career in my 20s. Now I'm 58. I choose a holistic because the possibilities of practice. Then my grandfather, his name was Tranquilino Paez. He was a Paraguayan from Guaraníes Indians, and healing was unspoken, not concept, no words for describe the practice. People looking for him. He was a big man with big hands. He invited them to his house. He take a big bowl of fat from pork, a big white ball, and he would make his hands hot and greasy and start to massage the person in the shoulders and talking to him and say, well, the pain is going to go away, but don't eat this food, try to eat better, why you don't rest, and he start to pray, and he hug him, he kiss him, and he give a glass of wine or a gin, something to drink, and then he talking about his wife, and then he said, "Well, you need to try to sleep better. Why you don't take this herb?" Um, Basically, the traditional medicine, the old medicines coming from the indigenous, the traditional one, the pure medicine, always was holistic. The division of the medicines start 200 years ago when people start to specialize for necessary reasons because we become so many people, and actually when you are expert in the knee, you see every day and you know very well about how to heal the knee, and actually that is advantage to have a specialist in different part of the body because they see that every day and they get bean in this specialty. But the danger of this way of practice medicine is you lose the context. Then you fix the knee and you don't fix the inflammation, and you don't feel the wrong posture, and you don't feel the motricity, and you don't ask to the clients to lose weight for try to take care of his needs, etc., etc. Then holistic is a is like a general practitioner when we are able, holistic practitioners, to understand the cause of the problems at least from three different points of view at the same time. Then the human body is divided in five brains: the intellectual, the emotional, instinctive, the movements, and the sexual. Then, when we get sick, at least the illness is combination of a wrong connection between three of them, at least. Wrong connection between the emotional part with the intellect. It's like you have the idea coffee is good for you because you read the advertising and somebody tell you coffee can healing headaches, which is true actually. But uh, the intellectual idea become something you like, become emotional because you like coffee, and then that is in connection with your instinctive part, which is your body. Then one of the things we do in holistic practice is try to help to the person to understand the cause of his problems. We are companions. We are friends of illness. We try to show to the person illness is not enemy, and illness is coming actually for rescue in some extent, and to understand the cause. Then one of the more popular problems we have, which is education, is the misunderstanding between symptoms and cause. Then headaches, they are not a cause, is a consequence. Then the consequence of headaches is your liver, your atlas out to place, you are stressful, and you don't do exercise, your body is too stressful, too tight. Then you already in one health problems, you have emotional problem, a movie center problem, and an instinctive problem. Well, the cause needs to first be see it. We need to see the cause of our problems and face it. Then illness is one of the more important tools from nature for help us to growing up. And the reason of illness is growth. We see that very clearly in children. Children never they are sick. They are growing up. And all the illness they have is for this reason. Then is not point to give medicines to children and treat them like they are sick. Then when they cannot functioning is because the growth process is stuck. This is the case of autism, which is the brain stop his growth process. Then autism is one example of what I'm talking about. The children get a shock. They are very sensitive, emotional, and from emotional shock, they stop the growth of the brain, and the children produce a cocoon where feel protected of his silence and his inner world. Then many things is happened to humans through our growth process, which is can become the ninth force for keep our growth process. But anything can frustrate our growth process until we die, creates illness. And illness is like a pusher, try to push the process of growth. I don't listen to you.
I had it on mute. I forgot. Okay.
Okay.
One moment. Change the. Okay. Yes. Um. Thank you. So one question: What was it? What was it that really motivated you to get into the healing arts when you were young? Was it from your parents, or was it your family tradition, or was there something else?
Well, I need to be honest with you. It's too easy for me.
That's why. That was why. Is because you were
Yeah,
good.
it's
Okay.
too easy. I don't feel like work. I'm very lazy. It's my blood. I don't like to work.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then, and then you studied after being exposed to your family. You then studied in Europe too. Am I right? In Spain or
Well,
something?
my studies. I started yoga at my 15 years old because I was asthmatic. My actually my personal process for study alternative medicine was because uh, my asthma didn't get better with regular medicine. Actually, I got hooked with codeine when I was 12 and was a long, long fight with addictions thanks to codeine. I take codeine since my no earlier. I started with codeine when I was actually 6 years old because my asthma was too much coughing all winter, all spring, and the codeine helped me to breathe. But take also inhalates like for open my bronchioles. And then at my 14, I was already addicted to drugs because I didn't know and started drinking one bottle of cough medicine, like take me 2 or 3 days to fill one bottle and then drinking more cough medicines. And then I start to looking for other drugs, and this is part of my health history is addictions. Then when I was 15, I started to doing yoga, and when I was 18, I met a macrobiotic Buddhist Zen teacher, which is I learned Japanese medicine and macrobiotic. And then at my 22, I study nutrition, and I am dietary technician. And from my college, I get I am chemist as well. Then I since my 20s and my 25, I study Chinese medicine, and I become a jiatsu practitioner combined with yoga, and I start to also teach macrobiotic cuisine, which is coming from traditional Japanese medicine. Then at my 26, I healing my asthma finally. And at my 28, I traveled to Spain. And in Madrid, I finished my study of holistic medicine, homeopathy, and phytotherapy, which is herbology. And that's where it was 2 years in Spain and in France, which is I work in a medical clinic in Madrid for 2 years, from my 30 to my 32 successfully, and then back to Argentina where I opened one center of holistic medicine, where also was successful with students and clients. And since I arrived to United States when I was 36, and this is more or less 25 years ago. I I work in here in the States, and I work here in a medical clinic as well. And I opened different centers in the last 25 years here in California. And I have my own practice right now since I came here, and I'm on holistic health services right now.
So yeah, you're here in California, yeah, not too far from me. It's and you have a clinic. You work in Grass Valley, I know, and also Yuba City, yeah,
Right
Nevada
now,
City.
I working for one health spa in Grass Valley, and I have my own office in Nevada City, and
Wonderful.
office in Oregon House and US City. Actually, I have right now four offices.
Okay, okay. So what would you? So just this is a. It's a little bit different because you're not kind of promoting a pure system. You've kind of done your own integrative work, yeah. And so, what would you like to do? Would you, or maybe I should ask you? I know we haven't talked much about the potential of these videos, but would you like to do a series of classes, of online classes that are free, as a free service, kind of just offer some general education from your experience in integrating the different indigenous systems, and then your own experience through just the holistic medicine? Does that sound good? And then we could do maybe I don't know, we could do up to 10 classes maybe if you want.
We can do 10 classes, and something I am very interesting to share is actually target new healers and people not only are interested in own health, they are interested in become healers. My experience in the practice, you cannot to find that in any books, and that's is basically I want to share tips of how to build in a practice, how to deal with the client, and
Mm-hmm.
then how to do the holistic practice in itself, and how to do the combination. Then the rest of the things you can find in the books. You can understand how work a point, and that is a books and recipes and remedies. There are a lot of literature on that, but something I want to offer is my directly experience in actually what is emotional healing, how is combined with the different symptoms, and how to actually performance practically in the practice. Then there are important things in the practice like the difference of magic and healing. Then in these days it's a big confusion about both, and magic is one thing, and that can work for some people. Um, and if you believe in that, maybe help you. But healing is based in a scientific fact as well. It's not only belief, and healing needs to be objective and needs to have a scientific foundation. Then ideas like the pH, ideas like different process, classification of humans based in the glandular system, blood types, and different keys for healing will be my wish actually to share in the seminars.
Okay, so what we could do is we could use. use this series as then a an invitation or an introduction to a more formal class. That if people wanted to really get deep into it, they could then they could contact you. And I think we spoke before. You have a whole formal school of teaching. Yeah. So
My website, I have you can go to schools